Hi everyone, I'm Alec Nikolic, and firstly welcome to Cape Town and also welcome to our overview of the app that we are building for the Replit Buildathon competition called StratIQ. I've been wanting to build this app for quite a while, mostly because there have been numerous times in the past where my own team members have asked me, like the graphic designer or the video creator or even our marketing coordinator, who would ask, how did we do with this campaign? Or how did this particular post perform? Or how am I doing with my design, with my videos? How do I improve? Is it making a difference? And, you know, the only real way that we as business owners can actually try and find out more of information is to look at our Google Analytics or the GA4 accounts that we have linked to each of our stores. But it literally, one is just exposed to a sea of data. There's lots of metrics. It's thousands of information and bits that are waiting for, which I realize is extremely valuable. But what does that mean to me as a business owner? And at the same time, how do I actually use that information to understand it, and from there to get some form of strategy to improve something that's working well or something that's not working so well? How do we actually improve it to catch up with the other campaigns? And so this got me thinking we can definitely use an AI model that has the ability to draw all that data, give us an output of what each of that data or metric means, and more importantly, to actually give us a strategy that can be followed. And so here we've managed to finish most of our landing page. It's basically is quite informative. It gives the any user that lands on the site a lot of information about the app and what it can do. Part of the app, which I'll show you, is to give two types of outputs, including one for a business owner as well as one for an analyst, which makes it a lot more technical. The landing site also shows the features, how the app works, pricing, which we're busy linking now with payment integration. It has an about page as well as docs to help a user connect. Well, let's first look at signing in. You can see that it's a normal email and password sign-in, but we've added an extra level of security by adding MFA. So I'm just going to add the number quickly in. And that's obviously very important because of all that data that's available and listed on the app. And from the very get-go, we wanted it to be able to handle more than one organization, and that's because there are store owners that have multiple organizations and would like to have them visible. But then there's also agencies where certain digital agencies are actually looking or are in charge of several different accounts, and this is one way that they could have it all on one account. Let's look at Skin Ingredients. That is a live site. It does attract people to the site, but it's not really active. It's more of a testing site so that we don't show any confidential information out in public. But you can see immediately on the dashboard page, it's showing how many sessions have taken place, the conversion rate, as well as the bounce rate. And the dashboard page is only part of the metrics that we present in the app or to the user. And we will also obviously have a traffic analysis page. We will have a conversions page and a page that looks at all the one's social media that's linked with that account, all the campaigns that have taken place for that particular account, and overall store health as well. That gives an insight where a user can come on and say what's working, what's not working. It just gives kind of like a bird's eye view of what they need to focus on for that day. We also have a tracking links page, and this allows a user to enter a specific UTM tracking link, and that will be searched, and from that the information and data and the metrics will all be available. And on that same page, we also allow the user to create their own actual links, which then once saved will actually be saved under this performance page. And just to make it easier, we put some quick reference UTM links that generally get created. So for example, if you want to create an Instagram ad, you click it and the campaign source and the campaign medium gets automatically filled in, and the user only has to fill in the rest. So let's look at the app in action. Let's look at our traffic analysis. And, we can see here that there's the last 30 days are being displayed. The user can choose the last 90 days, and immediately the app will call that data off from the Google Analytics or the GA4 account. One can also do the last 12 months as well as custom dates. So if I go back quite a few months, and let's say we do the 30th of July, we apply that custom data that date range that we've put in, and immediately it will call in that data. So let's, for example, look at our store health, and this will be very interesting because it isn't really generating any income, but part of the importance of this actual app is to have the ability to ask Claude to analyze this particular page. But we have this analysis available for every single page, so a user can get individualized page by page kind of analysis, but more importantly, as I mentioned earlier, an actual strategy of how to improve each of those findings that Claude generates in its brief or in its report. So this should be fairly quick because it's only the last 30 days and there isn't much action happening here, but because of that, Claude could be analyzing this and trying to decide, well, what are all the possible reasons why the site is not performing well. And right at the bottom here, we will see that it's busy still generating, and it will be looking at all of this data: desktop, mobile, tablet, hours of day, the days of the week revenue, organic search, the revenue by city, revenue by country, the repeat purchase rate, average items per order, and the returning visitor rate. And obviously product view to cart. There will be a list here in a real viable store. It should have generated now, and immediately, and as expected, it's giving us lots of warnings. It's critical, there's anomaly alerts, what the findings are, and immediately what are the actions, what do we need to fix now, what we need to optimize, and how to scale. It looks at each individual one of those metrics and gives a detailed analysis. But what is really amazing is that this is now giving an analyst view. If I click to owner, that will change the actual description. So for example, let's take it the very first one. Your store is broken. You're getting 598 visited by 0 sales, but we change that to analyst, and that will immediately change it to critical e-commerce failure with so much % conversion rate, which is below the industry benchmark. And I think this is another thing, is that when someone does ask, how are you doing? Like, how's our campaign doing? It's converted and 50% of all people purchase, but is that good? We don't know. So we also want to compare it to industry standard benchmarks. But what I found most amazing about this app is that when you do get this kind of report, and from a business owner that doesn't know much about Google Analytics or about these kind of messages, we literally have an in-app modal called Deep Dive that you can click on, and that opens a direct chat with Claude. Let's try another one. So we can open up retry. Maximum characters reach. Sorry guys. So where I can show that to you is a previous generated report where we go deep dive, and it immediately presents this kind of information to Claude with an introductory question, which opens up that conversation for the user, and Claude will be able to give you natural responses. And we can see, for example, your checkout is completely broken. This isn't an optimization problem. It's a technical emergency. And you can obviously write questions or follow-up questions. And it says here, has your emergency action plan. First, test your entire checkout flow yourself on mobile and desktop right now. Add a product, I'll go through the checkout. Now, I'm going to say we have checked, and the process of checkout works. What are our next steps? And you literally just enter that in, and we should be able to get an answer. That was quite a basic question and answer, but it's just to show or to indicate how involved and how helpful this app will be for a large number of small as well as medium-sized businesses who can't afford a full-time digital strategist. They literally have that with this app. And obviously for agencies, it will dramatically reduce the time that it takes to go through all of the data, use the formulas when basically the app has the ability to do that. So yeah, I hope that was interesting and that you found the actual app and its functions and features as exciting as I did, because I know that this is going to be extremely useful for our business. And yeah, till next time, can't wait to show you all the extra things that we're going to be adding on. So thanks so much for listening. Bye-bye.